Do you know what else is really simple, chat? If you have a hard time wrapping your little brain, smoothed brain, around 1 in 4 odds, Factor. Factor is really simple. You have a hard time picking what to eat or cooking your own meals up, you can check out Factor 75 using my link. They send you fresh, fully prepared, never frozen meals directly to your home. All you gotta do is pop them in a microwave or an oven and heat them up, and they're ready to eat in just mere minutes. Delicious.
Live from the Daily Bugle.
Thieves 2 guy. Listen, Chad, if you can't work a microwave, I can't help you. That's all I got. Ooh, piece of candy. How do computers work? I don't know how I got here and now I'm scared. Asking some real questions here. Okay, I think I do this so that way I can narrow what my Jubilee hits are going to be here.
The mystery intrigues me.
The mystery intrigues me. So guaranteed to have Mystique or Onslaught. Did that in the right order, right? This, then this, then this, then this. Yeah. This way, if we hit Mystique, we got the Iron Man.
Minions to me.
And this is exactly I'm talking about. People keep asking about decks that beat Hela. This is the one. This is the archetype. You wanna beat Hela, this is how you do it. You're gonna die to good tech cards, but outside of that. This is the deck that goes over the top of Hela and doesn't eat it to Shang. We got the nuts. I don't even think that that's true that we had the nuts. The nuts of this deck is like Onslaught, Mystique by Onslaught, play Iron Man. This was just like an average draw where there's only one card left in our deck. Our deck is not RNG, chat. This deck sees almost its entire deck every single game that it plays. It's very consistent. Any complication in the system lies in the bundle? Sure, but that's like fully min-maxing the system and that doesn't have to do with understanding the base rules of Spotlight systems. Like what you're describing there is acquiring the absolute most Spotlight keys possible for the least amount of resources, which you're right. That is not an easy thing to do under the current system. However, understanding that using your Spotlight keys optimally is very simple is the base thing we were talking about. Do you think Second Dinner overlooked the results of their design, or they intended for the game to get to this stage? I mean, I would just, generally blanket assume that Second Dinner almost never intended the game to be in the state that it's in because it's so hard to predict. Now, whether or not they're happy with the current state is a different question. I don't know the answer to that. I know that every single time someone has brought up Zabu or Shang in team answer style questions, it feels like they get responses like that seem to imply from my reading that they're happy and content with those cards. I'm very curious to see OTA into patch next week. Do they adjust? Zabu's the big one in my mind. I think there's a very real chance that everything in the format can be pointed a finger at Zabu and be like, it's the cat's fault.
Snap! Opponent snapped.
Probably magicking here, so let me get there. They did say during the Scar season they intentionally made it a big guy season. They succeeded at that more or less. I mean, I don't think that's true though. It's actually kind of tough to play big guys because of Shang. The only deck that's like super successful playing big guys is Hela. Like there's like the one Scar Call deck that's like it's fine. I'm not gonna say it's good. I enjoy it and it's fine. But I think it's a far cry from being like the top of everything. If Zabu's an inherently flawed design, do you think Renslayer eventually leads to similar issues? I think Renslayer's more narrow in the range of things that she impacts. It is pretty different. This is useful. I'm just playing Blue Marble. Is Lorcana still on your do not touch list? So fun fact! I went to the local game store and bought like $80 worth of Lorcana starter decks with the intention of playing them because I was told that the prices on the game came down. Then I went out and actually looked at the prices on competitive decks, and it turns out they really haven't come down. So I'm probably going to sell the starter decks without opening them because I have no desire to buy multi-$100 things again. I think I'm just onslaughting. I think I'm living tribunaling, and then I'm onslaught into Iron Man over here. This is like kind of mid if I draw Mystique, but if we draw Mystique, we should be winning by so much anyways. It doesn't matter. Yeah, I think there's just too much sweaty secondary market stuff for me to
Such is my judgment.
for me to really care about it. Is this ideal? We drew the Mystique, but like I said, I think we're still just far enough ahead that it just doesn't matter. Yeah, honestly, I think I'm probably just gonna install the Pokemon digital client because both my boys have been getting more into playing Pokemon cards. And I think if I'm gonna learn a paper card game, that one not only has an official digital client, but it also, something my kids already enjoy.
I am Iron Man.
Is pushing Living Tribunal to Shaggy to Regis Swap Blue Barb or something else? Nah.
I am Iron Man.
Against Shang Jets, just don't play Blue Marble. Or don't play it in a way that lets your thing die.
Victory.
Not only have I heard the digital Pokemon client is free-to-play friendly, these are unscanned booster pack code cards. Yeah, you can also buy these in bulk, but these are just like what are sitting in my office that I haven't scanned that we've been collecting over the years from the kids opening packs, so. It'll be like marginally tedious, but I could probably also just make the children do it. When you scan that card in, do you get stuff digital? Yeah, every time you buy so the digital Pokemon TCG client literally does not let you spend money on it. And the only way you can monetize accelerating collection progress in the digital client is buying those code cards third party. And those code cards come inside of the physical card booster packs. And a lot of the people who play Pokemon TCG, or collect Pokemon TCG don't play the game. They just collect it. So like you could buy like stacks of those code cards for like pennies on the dollar compared to buying a physical booster pack. I mean, I'm sure there's some player-friendly reasons why they made it so you can't spend money, but I'm sure the overall overarching reason is simply the fact that they don't want to fully cannibalize their paper product with their digital. Random packs of the client. You get the same booster pack that you bought the physical from, and I think, don't quote me on this, but I think some of the starter decks and box sets that you could buy physical cards of, they come with code cards too, and then you get that same box set you got in physical on the digital. Right? They match.
Oh, snap.
Yeah, you get the same decks when you buy specific products. Is that why Lorcana is only physical to avoid cannibalizing a brand new game? No, Lorcana is only physical because they just don't have the bandwidth or the resources to make it digital, I would assume. Our Twitch drops this week. No, Twitch drops are Tuesday, so in the next week, I suppose, but not this week, technically. Renslayer actually probably isn't a card I want on Onslaught Citadel. My friend paid $120 for the new Charizard card and had it sent to my house so his girlfriend wouldn't find out. Chat, if you have to hide your hobby purchases from your significant other, maybe one, make sure you're spending a responsible amount of money you actually have to spend on your hobbies. But two, also consider that perhaps your relationship is not in a healthy spot if you need to hide things like that. Ace Crusher, thank you for the 2.5 years. I appreciate that. Welcome back. Franco's, thank you for the 30 months as well. You know, communication is the key to any successful relationship, Jim. Sorry, I wasn't listening. This is why we don't have a good relationship, Dash and Finn. It's just not gonna work out.
The mystery intrigues me. Behold my mighty hand.
I'm putting the magic here because we know they have Stegron. I don't want them to be able to bat either of these out of Onslaught Citadel. Coming back to Snap after hiatus, glad to see you're still making content. Sad about Legends of Runeterra news, but I've been enjoying Snap recently. Good to have you back, Orthoburb. All the lifestyle games, they ebb and they flow. They ebb and they flow. It's a pretty decent Mr. Negative hand. Can we get one of our cost reducers here? Rip. Magic for the Space Throw would also be nice.
Opponent snapped. Escaped.
Yeah, I think Subterranea, no Accelerate, no Magic. We'll leave other step here. This is one of those decks that, like, if you're someone who lacks good snapping fundamentals, it's like, this is probably a good deck to play. It'll help teach you those. It's very clear these are when my hand is strong versus not type scenarios. The longer you can wait to Jubilee in a deck like this, the better. Do you want to reduce the variance of what she's going to be pulling for you? Said... Debris plus Stegron's kind of a non-bow in the opponent's deck, huh? I'll play this here to fill this up in case they have like a goblin or something. Snap them as well. I guess they Dock-Ock my Mystique. They Dock-Ock me, my Mystique doesn't work, which is kind of sad, but the rest of my hand's pretty good. Them clearing out the Sacred Timeline seems good for us, yeah? You watch Jim Davis on the Pro Tour. I don't really follow Comp Magic stuff anymore. It's been a long time since there was enough for me to care about. No idea how many numbers we have here, but I'm gonna assume it's enough.
I am Iron Man. I am Iron Man.
That's how this deck works. Like, no points anywhere, 22 everywhere. Good job. Yeah, I think having something in this vein in my back pocket for playing into people playing Hella in the tournament's probably a good idea. Because we can, for reference, we can change decks every single round. So like if someone's playing Hella on a tear, switching over to something like this is probably a good idea. This should be an excellent deck for climbing on the ladder. 100% great for farming bots. Yeah, this deck's bad matchups are like things that turn off Limbo to a degree will beat some of your draws, and then things that like Enchantress. Obviously get you. Your Sarah Tech matchup is bad, yeah.
I am Iron Man.
You can change decks, can you essentially sideboard? To a degree. Isn't anything worth Mr. Negative-ing in my deck?
Behold my mighty hand.
Ah. Well, I mean, that's the draw that makes me stay, right? Oh, playing Mr. Negative is technically +1, yeah? He's Mr. Positive right now. Should have played him out.
Such is my judgment.
Woo, buddy! Would one more have mattered? I don't know if one more would have mattered. I have 7, 12, 21, 27, 12, 17, 34, 34 and 27 is 61. 62 would have put me to 21 everywhere, right? And then we'd have won. Yeah, two-thirds runs up. Okay, our deck won that. Opponent's deck's a Mogwai Cook. Literally every single time we've queued into a random pile of cards since Mogwai came back, like someone inevitably is just like, oh, this is a Mogwai deck, by the way. Is their last card Shang? Was the last card Shang or Juggernaut? Sokovia discarded check. Okay, that makes sense. Yeah, it seems like a fine pile of cards. I think Debris is pretty reasonable. Debris is a better card than she gets credit for, I think. Mogwai not own Jeff, the baby land shark? Or does he think Nightcrawler is better? Maybe this person doesn't own Jeff. Yeah, I'll take a cheaper. Cheaper friends here. Mogwai doesn't own Jeff. Okay.
Behold my mighty hand.
Dr. Octopus is such a risky click against us.
I am Iron Man.
Such a risky click. Mystique copies Iron Man, because he was the last card we actually played. Dr. Octopus cards don't count as actually having been played.
Victory.
This is a matchup where you need to minimize the number of cards you pull, not maximize. Yes. Yeah. You basically, in a matchup like this, if you're a Doc Ock deck, you really only want to be Doc Ocking into lanes that are full.
Opponent snapped. Escaped.
Your threshold for how many cards to have to make Mr. Negative beneficial play. You mean like left in my deck or when building the deck initially to start? When it comes to when actually playing it out, it probably depends on like what the texture of other cards I could be playing at that spot is. Okay, so opponent's not snapping because their hand is good. Most likely they're just snapping because I like to snap on one while playing Conquest. I would assume it's probably not just a calculus of the total number of cards in your deck that are beneficial, so much as it's what's the impact of them. Because, like, an Iron Man and a Mystique left in the deck are both way more beneficial than, like, a Blue Marvel or a Super Scroll or a Jubilee, yeah? This could have also been a turn 1 step because they're going to fill the raft before us. You think a deck like this can beat Hella points off? Yeah, we were talking about that earlier, but I think this style of deck is genuinely the best type of thing you can play against Hella. What are they paying, Ravona? think I'm snapping back, but I also don't know which card I'm playing. I think it's Sarah. And Zabu, so I could have Shang and Enchantress. I don't think you necessarily assume Enchantress, but it could be.
Face the might of Asgard. Mjolnir.
Oh, are we supposed to onslaught the Sarah? That's actually a really interesting line I didn't think about. Yeah, maybe. If I onslaught the Sarah, this is 4, this is 3, this is 1. This is 2, these are 3, this is 1. The Super Skrull's kind of spicy here because they have Miss Marvel.
Behold my mighty hand.
What do I think of this? I can put this here too. Their deck only has 2 cards in it. This gives me a Miss Marvel bonus left and right. I think we're beating Enchantress on the right.
Mjolnir to me.
This could be Odin though. Nope, just Shang-Chi. That's part of the appeal of playing this deck, chat, is you get to duck Shang.
I am Iron Man.
Victory.
They don't win this game even with Enchantress, chat. If they Enchantress plus Stormbreaker here, they're +2 up to 21. I lose a double, but I'm still at 44, right? Maybe not quite 44? That's close, right? It's 13, 15, 17, plus 5. I'd be at 20. I'd be at 40. Yeah, I'd be at 44. We double 22. Yeah, bonus deck doesn't usually have room for Enchantress with the Thor and Darkhawk package. But again, even if they... Honestly, the Enchantress angle of this deck gives you some interesting counterplay into Enchantress by just, like, saving up your stuff to play on the last turn. Now, looking at how this deck plays out, Mobius is probably a bigger tech card issue for you than Enchantress. You know what else is a problem, but only for some people? Those non-subscribers who are about to get adverts. We'll see you in 120 seconds. We're going to continue on along. Thanks for hanging out. Don't go anywhere. Alliance. Sure, some of the ways you play the game Alliance could get you, but there really aren't that many decks that are playing Enchantress and Alliance. I don't think it's true that Alliance wrecks this deck space. I don't think that's accurate, especially in Conquest, where if you know you're playing against Alliance, you can make conscious decisions to play for priority. Like, in that particular game, I was doing my best to play around Enchantress, so I, like, chose to throw priority, but you don't always have to make those choices, right? I would agree if we're playing against someone who has Alliance Enchantress, that's a squeeze we probably can't beat. See you in a bit, Luthril. Have a good exercise. Super Scroll is assuredly a flex card in this deck, chat. It's good in the mirror, I assume. Just happens to be a tech card that's good against ongoing stuff. That works with negative and Zabu. Sure, Iron Lad seems like a fine card for that slot. So the next card you're gonna get a premium flip. I think I want to get a gold finish on Shang-Chi. Yeah, I think my top of the tournament deck list right now is Loki, Kitty, Cull, Scar, and probably something close to this. I think I need something in the range that's gonna be good into Hela. I forgot to reset this morning on ads this time. Is this how the other half lives? If you're on mobile Stribling, you can use your Prime sub at this link in your mobile browser. Alright, gamers, we found the Super Scroll matchup. Is this just... This could just be goblins, Ramona. Is Psylocke the best Ramona substitution? The best Ramona substitution is 4,000 or 3,000 collector's tokens. I don't think you can play this deck without the cost reducers. The flex cards in this deck are probably Super Scroll and to a degree Mr. Negative, and maybe Jubilee. I don't think the other 9 are optional. Oh, Willie Davis! Thank you for the primer. Appreciate the support. Yeah, probably. Do I need to block this? Or can I just let Red Rover come over? I might just let Red Rover come over. And then just go Mystique, Iron Man, Living Tribunal.
Behold my mighty hand.
We beat Hobgoblin Galactus left. Yeah, I think we should have like infinite points here, right?
I am.
How big are we in the middle? 704. Split it up. Let me know how that works out. Coolio. Fuck! Not -3! Oh no! -8! Not Galactus! No! Galactus! I'm a piping hot cup of get fucked, bud. And Master Gray, thank you for the 7 months. I appreciate it. Welcome back. Whoop, thank you for the brand new primer. That'll do, pig. That'll do. "6-2 Galactus would have won that game as a crazy." Yeah, all of Galactus was very offensive. So to set a low bar, the current Galactus design is much better than the old one. This Gambit avatar looks great. Free Limbo is lovely. I'm probably going to Magic somewhere else just for the sake of making sure they can't storm the only Limbo.
Oh, snap.
We'll snap here too. This deck hits that very, very narrow deck building window of doesn't die to Shang, can make bigger numbers than Hela. And yes, like we've been talking about, obviously there are other tech cards that are not ideal for us. But by and large, this deck is doing a lot of things you would like to be doing in this format. Almost everything I get off the top here is good. I'm gonna play Bugle.
Behold my mighty hand. Opponent snapped.
I don't know if they have room to run Enchantress, chat.
I am Iron Man.
Always room for more tech cards. Yeah, the fist bump preemptively makes it feel like that could be a possibility. I don't think I can beat Enchantress gamers.
The mystery intrigues me.
About to get like Legion? No, Legion we went with the Tribunal, right? Oh, Oh, I was like, how did my thing get smaller? They turned their loop cage off. Yeah, and that's why, you know, like, I think that's a good, like, that's a good end to temper this otherwise impressive run. Because this is the experience you should expect to have with, this deck hits that small trifecta that I talked about, but this deck basically doesn't have super close matchups in either direction. It leans heavily in to the rock, paper, scissors, coin flip, whatever you want to call it, stuff that Marvel Snap has going on right now, where you're gonna win hard or lose hard in one direction regardless of what you're doing. You gotta be prepared for that. We hot knife through buttered 4 people, and this is why this particular deck is a tough deck to justify inside of Conquest specifically, because like we hot knife through buttered like 5 matchups in a row, but then our last match playing for the infinite ticket, we lost because they had Enchantress, right? There's just like nothing we could really do about it in a lot of the situations.